Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down.
It has been long overdue to expose the truth that the Democrats and Republicans are sucking the life out of America's liberty and usurping our rights at every turn. Now is the time to seize our civil liberties and take back our individual rights. Here on Southern Liberty, we will expose it all. With his musket on his back, the Declaration of Independence in one hand, and the Constitution in the other, here's your host, Roderick Threets.
Hey, let's say a little one more again. What's good with you? How y'all doing? Appreciate y'all coming through for some chasing life, liberty, and monarchy. Oh man, look here. I hope that y'all have had a great week so far. I hope that all of you had a chance to sit back and relax. And yes, y'all did see the show. I called it, it's woke, but it's Wqke, Wqke, because we're about to make some people feel very uncomfortable. We're gonna enlighten our liberty defenders. We're gonna enlighten the people that are in pursuit of liberty and monarchy, and alert them to the BS that they are seeing coming out of the right. I mean, today, like, Miss Aja with us. Appreciate you. What's going on, sister girl?
Woo! I had a great day today till I got on Twitter. I said, Lord, see, the devil made me do it. The devil, I say, I'm going to keep my phone down and not get on Twitter. Then I get on Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck? See, I had a resolution. I wasn't going to get upset on Sunday or cuss, but some folks need a come to Jesus.
Oh, Lord. She said, wow. She said, come to Jesus, baby. Come to Jesus. People
need to come to Jesus. I think I'm going to start a show on that. This is a Sunday show, 30-minute come to Jesus moment.
Get right and say, oh, my Lord, 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 Lord.
We get the tamarines going. Get the I got the collection plate.
I think if our typical audience is here, Miss Marlene, I'll have to nominate her as the usherette to pass around the offering plate.
Yeah, okay. Get her the white gloves. Say this is how you do it. We take her back to church, not church.
And what we're gonna do is instruct Miss Marlene.
The real church of the South.
Look. We're going to have Miss Marlene check them at the door when they come in. They're going to come in the door and be like, oh, what's this? You need to put your offering, put in your 10% right now. And if you walk past me, it's another 10% if you pass me without putting anything in the plate. So give me your 10% now. We'll save you 20 later. All right. So you're going to get y'all coming in the door because we gotta do it here for the Church of Monarchy up in here, right? We got to make sure everything is in order so you can have the freedom to move about. And, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have the freedom to move about.
It's the church of cognitive dissonance.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yeah. Let me tell you something. All this is incorporative into tonight's subject of woke or Wqke. I made it a Q on purpose, right? Because here's the thing, right? And I'm going to give you why I'm thinking this, right? Because here's the thing, right? Q. Right, the Q thing, right, is a quote unquote right wing thing, right? These ultra conservatives that believed in the Q, you know what I'm saying, right? They called themselves woke, didn't they? Huh? They called themselves, they were woke. We were awakened. Awaken and woke is really the same thing. You know what I'm saying? To a degree, right? But they got their side of woke and you got the wokeness of the left, right? It's all the same wokeness, right? It's all the same segregationist, separatist bullshit. The thing is that the tactics are different. That's why we need to get into the history of woke.
And I did my homework again. I got my notes.
You got your notes? See, here's the thing.
Because I'm really tired of hearing the word, it's woke. Oh my God, it's woke. And I'm like, y'all some dumbasses. Y'all are dumbasses. Stop saying some shit that you don't even know the root, the etymology of the damn word.
Well, in defense, right? Here's the thing. In defense, right? We have to make this clear.
I can't
right?
even defend it.
No. I got to, right? Because here's the thing, right? And I think. Okay, let me word this correctly here, so people understand the point, right? I blame our cousins on the left for allowing these white liberals and progressives to exploit what woke is. That's the problem that we have. So we have people, when they see woke, right, and what has been perpetuated, people are going to react like, that's not normal. Oh, no, anti-woke. I don't blame them for that. This is why we're here. We're going to flip the script and re-educate on what that is, right? Because what they're seeing is woke is transgenderism. They're seeing all the teaching of history, a biased history, right? That's all part of the woke agenda, right? And that's what our as we like to say, right? Our skin folk and kinfolk cousins, right? Has allowed these white liberals and progressives to change what the meaning of woke is, right? And we're going to keep it really simple without getting too big into the history, because then that goes in that whole lot of down a lot of avenues, right? And we're talking about going back to, civil rights.
Actually, it goes further back.
Right. But see, that wokeness, though, I know kind of where you're going. That wokeness came out of the progressive movement, out of the Harlem Renaissance. I know where you're at.
Yes.
Right. But
yes.
But that was exploited, right? Because remember, that kind of flipped on its head with civil rights, right? And then people started saying what the man was doing to them. And that's
right, because you got to think, it was back, like the Harlem Renaissance, the 1930s, and the roaring, the roaring 30s, where the phrase "stay woke" it came through the awareness of the social and political issues affecting African Americans.
Correct.
It's to have a conscious mind. So you're now. You're no better than the left hijacking liberal. Right. You're no better than when the far left, hijacked the term liberal. Now, if you really want to talk about woke and liberalism and to just be free in consciousness, look at George Carlin. I even take out the African American community out of it. Okay, look at George Carlin, look at the comedians like Richard Pryor and like SNL and all in the 70s, after the 60s, and how everybody was like, man, we know the man is this and the man is that. And it resonated all throughout of everybody where Gen X came up. I'm a Gen Xer, you're a Gen Xer. So all this started heavily in the 70s, where people are like, man, we're woke. We know what the government is doing. Bill Cooper, he was woke. You have a whole bunch of people that are like, wait a minute. This is the crap that they're feeding us and they're doing to us. Hell, Orwell was woke.
Yeah, that's right. Orwell was woke too.
He was woke way before his time. 1984.
Right, that's exactly correct. See that is the true wokeness, right? When you're understanding, when you're understanding one, like you said, right, what the man is doing to you, but you're also forecasting what the man is doing to you, right? Now, here's where the breakdown,
predicting the future.
right? Now, here's where the breakdown comes in, right? Because everybody talks about George Orwell, right? 1984. Oh yeah, he was, this, that, and the third. He was what we would call in the 80s as Gen Xers, in the 70s as woke. He was woke,
Yes.
right? To what was going on. Now, here's the breakdown. Here's where it all broke down, right? When we had the introduction and the hype, right? We got to remember, right? The AIDS epidemic, right?
Yep.
And specifically targeting gay black men after
Dr.
Stonewall.
Fauci. I just added that.
Right.
Dr. Fauci, but
Right,
hey.
right. So we
Yep.
had that breakdown, and then we had our music artists, especially, and I'm going to only speak on the on the quote unquote black side of things, right? On this, right? There's plenty of woke white artists like Freddie Mercury and,
Yes.
and all these cats, right? But I want to get down
Rolling
into
Stones, Led
right?
Zeppelin,
Yep.
all of them.
Yeah, they were all woke.
Creedence Clearwater.
Yep. So here's the thing. Now, I want to specifically speak about quote unquote black music, right? During this era, right? We have to talk about people like EPMD. We have to talk about people like Eric B. and Rakim. We have to talk about KRS-One.
There's one.
Right?
Yes.
These guys were Curtis Blow. These guys were telling you what was going on in the streets.
Boombada, man.
Yes. These cats were telling us what was going on in the streets and the neighborhoods. They were telling you the man was bringing dope to the neighborhood and selling it to their selected people so they could sell it to the other people in the hood. They were telling you this.
Rap was started. It was
Yes.
the stories of what those men and those groups and some women saw day to day life. I mean,
Right.
I'll even take it up further. I mean, yeah, we could talk about East Coast rap, but here comes NWA.
Yep, NWA.
Here comes
yep.
Eazy-E and
Ice-T.
everybody else.
Ice-T.
Ice-T.
Yep.
Tupac.
Yep.
Biggie Smalls.
Yep.
Come on.
That they were all talking about this system, right? And the true, and again, the true wokeness. When they started pandering, right, a certain way with quote unquote woke, they changed the music. See what they did, right? People, and I'm going to include all music in this now, right? Now that we've covered that, right? People like Freddie Mercury, he didn't live long, did he?
Nope.
Jimi Hendrix didn't live long, did he?
Nope. Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin, same thing. These people didn't live long because they pointed out, right? These people were the initial woke.
Yeah.
They told you, but yet they're gone. All of a sudden they're gone. Suicide, they're gone. Boom, they're off. They're gone because they were sitting here telling the truth.
They just dropping
Thank you.
dead.
I mean, look. Even as recently, right? Even as recently as our man, the other half of UGK, you know what I'm talking about, Bun B,
Yeah.
He quote unquote he overdosed. He overdosed on lean. Come on now, that man wasn't drinking no lean in his old age, in a Los Angeles hotel. You know what I'm saying? Someone came in and shoot. And this is what I'm saying. When we have our truth tellers out here telling us what the hell is going on, somehow the government gotta remove them.
They remove them quick, or they silence them, they blacklist them. Just like I was, even our black activists who've been saying this for years, all of a sudden you don't hear from them. But now with social media, people like our generation are going back to them and saying, can you tell us more so we can document everything that you've been saying so everybody could remember what you were saying back in the day and how you see it now. But it frustrates me. If I get so tired of hearing, that's woke. I'm like, that's not fucking woke. Stop.
No.
Just stop. And stop using it as some new term. It's like, do y'all really live in a bubble all your life? The cognitive bubble is just real.
But let's just flip the script though, Miss Asha.
Just Google. I mean, you have the Library of Alexandria on your fucking phone. You can Google.
But let's flip the script though, right? See, because now that we understand what the leftists have done to pervert it, you have these people out here, right? And we're going to talk about the two major violent factions in our country, right? And it's the neo-Nazis and it's the Antifa, They're both the same people.
The Bolsheviks.
They both are the same group of people. One just called themselves Nazis, and they are openly in public going Sieg Heil, right? And then you got Antifa that says they're anti-fascist, but still walking the steps of Sieg Heil. Still walking the steps of Mein Kampf.
But see, and that's a good another show to have, because see, the history, when the Bolsheviks, which is Antifa, the anti-fascists, they had a rival against the Nazis. That was when World War II and World War I. The anti-fascism, because they were over there because they didn't want Hitler in power. But like you said, they teamed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But it's to a point where you want to how can I say this? This society as a whole, forget left, right, up and down, whatever you subscribe to. We're losing our intellect so badly because you keep listening to these pundits, you keep listening to your representatives, how you made them God. And I said this a while back when Trump lost, or during the 2020 election. I said, y'all got to stop making him God, because God will show who is God. Because you started worshiping the man. And when you started worshiping him, guess what happened? We ended up with Joe Biden.
Well, it's not even that. Let's add to that, though. Let's pull.
Because you keep taking these people's words instead of challenging those people.
But hold on, let's pull that onion back a minute, though, right? Let's pull that back, right? We have to really think about why Trump got into such a quote unquote godly status, if you want to call it that, right? It's because the left kept persecuting him. If the left would have left him alone, the media would have left him alone, right? We wouldn't have been going through this. But as they kept continuing to attack a man, the virtue of the people that voted for him stood up for him, right? And I wouldn't expect anything less. So what did the leftist media do? They continued fueling the fire, and the Trump supporters kept fighting back and back and back. That's the problem, right? And we have to get to a point, right? It's like, you have to, one, attack the process without the man in it.
See,
right? Attack the process, not why the man isn't. You know what I'm saying? And
but see, that's the problem, Rob. Because we had a space on that. Felicia did, and Sonny was on there. I was on there, and a few others, and even Kevin Daniels. He said a lot of you don't even know the business model or the process model to even know what the fuck to do, because you're not involved. You never been involved even at your local central committee to read the bylaws or how the whole entire process works to fight back. You like you said, you keep attacking the person, but it's not the person, it's how the process was laid out on fucking piece of paper.
Yep. And the
but
left,
you're so intellectually lazy to get up, download it, go to a meeting, say I want a copy of it so I can learn the fucking game.
But see, that's the problem, right? That's the problem in itself, right? Us older folk, and I'm going to put us all in that bracket. Those of you over the age of 40, this is who I'm talking to.
That's
right?
me.
We know the process. We understand the process. As a whole, as a demographic, we are silenced because the establishment has got their way, right, with the older crowd and the younger crowd. They don't want us anywhere near that table because they know we would split it in half, right? We would completely upend their complete agenda. This is why Democrats and Republicans alike hate everybody that was born between 1965 and 1980. That's why they dislike us.
Even though they don't like boomers, and the boomers don't like the millennials and Gen Zers, they don't like Gen Xers.
No, they all don't like Gen X.
They don't like Gen X because we know they're bullshit, but I'm talking about the real conscious woke Gen X. I'm not talking, because I know some Gen Xers, I'll be like, what the hell?
Yeah,
but some of them got swamped into that cognitive dissonance.
But then that's the other part we're going to slide into too, right? Just like that one feed on Twitter talk about that we saw that tweet from End Wokeness, right? And they said they basically says that, oh, segregation is back. Segregation is back. And I'm like, wait a minute.
First of all, segregation was laws, dumbass. Well, Jim Crow was laws.
Yeah.
They were, I mean, supposedly they're not on the books anymore, but we see the shit. But segregation were actual laws.
Right. But even with that, Misogyny, even with that, right? Here's the thing with that, right? You can't sit here and mock quote unquote black folk that are going out and building their own town, like those people in Georgia with Freedom, Georgia, right?
Yeah, they're nice homes.
But look, these same people on the right cannot sit here and say we need to make sure we preserve life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for the next generation, but get mad at quote unquote black folk when they go pursue that happiness.
Because they don't want it for us. It's to a point now. It was Devin on the space the other day with Felicia. She did record it. Go ahead and listen to it. Maybe Rod can retweet it out so everybody that follows you, they can listen to it. It's like no matter what the fuck we do, you don't fucking like it. You just don't want us to fucking succeed. It's like, do you even want us to fucking exist? So if we open up a grocery store in a township in our own banks, you call it that, but then you turn around, look at black on black crime.
They but see, that goes back to the subject of the show, right?
Racism, man.
No, it's not even that. I don't think it's even racism. It's the gaslighting of woke. Right? I'm taking race out of it a second, right? It's the gaslight of woke, right? Because if everything woke is related to quote unquote what is supposed to be black excellence, what is supposed to be black superiority in this country, then yes, the knee-jerk reaction will be that tweet. And that in itself is a problem that has been created by our federal government. We got to hit the source where the source is, because until they change those quote unquote topics about race and denoting and separating everybody by a skin color instead of a nationality or ethnic group, that those kind of tweets will continue because they believe, oh no, we got to be they believe into we got to be inclusive, right? But not inclusive, right? You see what I'm saying?
They were trying to attack King Randall when he started X for Boys. Oh, it's only for black kids. Well, shit, y'all talk about black kids all the damn time.
Right.
And it's for boys. Y'all talk shit about black men, young boys, teenagers all the fucking time. So you had a 20-year-old who used GoFundMe to start a fucking school. And you still didn't like that shit.
King Randall.
You still didn't like what he was doing.
Right. They tried to drag that man halfway and across the state of Georgia for doing that.
But here's
the thing.
I prayed over him. I said, I hope the Klan or some Yahoo Wqke nut don't go over there and fuck his shit up. Otherwise, I will fly down to Georgia and start whooping some ass.
Look, and that in itself is the problem, right?
And then you have the black farmer in Colorado he owns 1,000 acres of land, waking up and his fucking cows and shit are all dead. But then you wonder why we don't even want to fucking do shit.
You know what, Misogyny? You nailed it.
You know what it is, and I'm so sorry because it infuriates me. You want us to be a consumer locked in class to tap dance and bounce a fucking ball on the court like LeBron James and shit, and run a football and just be fucking entertainment instead of being proud of a lot of us that are getting on board to be an investment class.
Look,
to reinvest in our fucking communities and rebuild our communities.
And that's the thing, right? There's a couple things with that too that you hit on, right? The first thing is the fact of the matter that these quote unquote, we might as well call them woke conservatives, right? They sit here and they try to say, they try to identify black on black crime in Chicago and this in Baltimore. Okay, yeah, we know it's there. We acknowledge that it's there, right? But we get people that are saying, you know what? We're moving out of these cities, moving to the rural area, building our own towns, and you get mad for escaping the trap. How the fuck does that work?
No, because Rod, and I said this in Felicia's space. And some other people did too. You don't want us to succeed. If you want us to succeed, say, hey, this is great. Let's do a ribbon cutting ceremony. Let's have it on Fox News or whatever. And let's support. This is what we need to do for community. You only do this to Black America, but I dare you to do that to somebody from China, because we do have Chinatown. We got Little Italy. I know there's one in New York. Look, do you do that bullshit at the Amish community? Because they will fuck your ass up.
Oh, hey, let them try that shit on some Jewish folk and watch what fucking happened to them.
Oh, they would get worse. They would get worse canceled than Kanye.
Hello, this is what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying. So they don't. They just see seriously because you know what. You know what, Massaja. You know what, Massaja. Follow me here a second, right? Follow me here a second.
I'm next to you, bro. I'm next.
Follow me a second, right?
I'm following.
What if this is some reverse slavery bullshit? Think about this a minute, right? We were segregated all the way up until literally 1964. I mean, because the black codes were not inclusive. They're only on quote unquote black folks. We were segregated in this country from 1621 to 1964. Now, not counting the Articles of Confederation. Let's just stay with 1788. As the United States of America from 1788 to 1964, we were a segregated country. Okay.
We were even classified as human.
Right. So now that the Republicans, they pushed through with the help of some Democrats, pushed through the Civil Rights Act of 64 and basically forced LBJ's hand to sign it. He had no choice.
Yeah, no choice.
Right. Now we're looking at that same perpetuation. Right. But in reverse. Oh, we've let them stay run around free too long. So we got to make sure integration works, teach these people still integration so we can keep an eye on them, right? And then we can still hold them. So this is why we have cities, right? Listen, this is why we have cities the way they are. Think about that a second, right? That was all part of the plan. They knew what they were doing leading up to...
We were a social and economic experiment still today.
Right, because see, if we look past the Great Migration and look at the second migration, right, which was between 44 and 65 out west from the Black Belt, you see this change. If you look at the cities, once you get west of Jefferson City, Missouri, you start seeing a few more of these black ghost towns that appear. Especially in the Rockies, right? You start seeing this. Why? Because they have forced them from the countryside into the cities. What the brother man in Colorado is experiencing right now is the exact effect of that. You don't belong out here, so we're going to poison your cows and your sheep to make you and run you up out of here. Is what these people are doing, and the sheriff is in on it with them.
But here's the thing, and I tell people this, okay, you want to run him out, and here come damn CCP China buying up his land. Now what the fuck you going to do? You already exactly mad because the CCP is buying up farmland in the heart of America's heartland and near the military bases. But then you get mad when black folks start buying hundreds of acres or thousands of acres or building our own communities. So would you rather, so you telling me you don't like what black folks are doing, but then you'll let the CCP China come over here and buy up our shit and control our farmland, control our water, control our agriculture, and spying on our damn military base. You're fucking mind.
Miss Aja, see, and here's the worst part about it.
I told you I'm pissed.
Look, here's the worst part about it. we have quote unquote black legislators in Congress that are okay with this.
Because
You have people.
So what do we call those people in our community?
I ain't saying anything. I'm leaving that right there. But here's what I'm saying, right?
They call step infections.
But these people sit right here at the dais in a committee meeting talking about how there's all this white supremacy and all. Disregard what Cori Bush did the other day. Disregard what's going on in the meeting, trying to get to solutions. Oh, until they denounce white supremacy, bitch, shut up. Shut all the way clean the fuck up. This shit is not about no fucking white supremacy while you're silent still on a black farmer with 1,000 acres being ran off his land. You are silent that the Chinese people are buying up bad property in black neighborhoods in St. Louis while you are silent.
In California and pushing a lot of black. They're going to the minority neighborhoods in LA, all over California, buy up the houses, the real estate and everything, and jack up the fucking rental prices.
Look, Ms. Asha, I'm going to say this, and I can't say it any more smoother than this, because these folks need to understand and hear what the fuck is really going on. None of these niggas give a damn about the other skin folk. All they care about is the bottom dollar, bottom line in their pocket, because they get elected to the federal legislature or state legislature where they can con these deals. Even mayors that con these deals, right? They don't care. These people do not care.
They're selfish.
They sit right here and claim, you elect me, I'm going to make things right for quote unquote black people. And yet they push black people further into destitution. Like all these niggas need to sit all the way clean the fuck down is what the fuck they need to do. Because if you...
Just like Killer Mike said, we're arguing. I said this in the space the other day. I said, forget us as black Americans with DNR. Okay, you do have some great Democrat registered black people who are registered Democrat. I have a lot of great friends who are on that side, and they tired of this shit too. I said we all need to find a coalition, forget the DNR, and fight the fuck back.
But see, here's the thing. As soon as we fight back, right? And I'm gonna still stay here a minute. And again, y'all forgive me for my language. I'm just that pissed right now.
I am too.
But see, here's the thing, right? These niggas is out here part of the fucking establishment, right? They're part of the fucking establishment that follows in the footsteps of W.E. Du Bois. Where's the fucking lie? Where is the fucking lie?
I like where we going here. But then they get mad at Booker T for saying pick yourself up from your bootstrap, but then you don't hold W.E. Du Bois, who went over to Russia and got indoctrinated with Marxism and communism, comes back like Zora Hurston called his ass out and said, you're a fucking Marxist.
Look, but these same niggas out here, they sit here and praise. I went to an HBCU. It was niggas like W.E. Du Bois that allowed our HBCUs to be indoctrinated by Woodrow Wilson to instill these liberal arts in the fucking schools. Again, step and fetch it. We going all the way in on this one. See, they don't understand what they're perpetuating when they sit here and talk about black folk this and black folk oppressed. You are playing into the white supremacist paradigm that the government created to keep your mind enslaved to them.
That's what Dr. Claude Anderson talks about all the time. He says, stop going to these damn colleges and start, unless these colleges are prepping you to be competitive in industries and commodities. Stop going to these damn colleges and getting a degree in journalism because you got on a fucking track scholarship. How about you go and get you a fucking trade and do your own work and become something better that these colleges, whether it's a HBCU or not, and stop playing these fucking sports and start learning the fucking game. The game is already around you. Why do you need to go and get a master's degree in administration to work for somebody else's fucking company?
Aja, look, and I'm gonna go all the way in on this one too, right? And I haven't been silent on this, but I've been silent, but I haven't.
Come on.
Colin Kaepernick.
We're having confession.
Listen.
It's confession time.
Watch. Colin Kaepernick is actually right when he talked about professional sports being a form of institutionalized slavery. Because let's think about this a minute, right?
Was.
You have a bunch of black kids competing with each other in a sport to make the top 0.5% to play a professional sport to make millions. What did he do? Right. And they talk about black folk tap dancing from massa. What the fuck is a tryout?
And that goes back to slavery when massa, where he had two massas would get their two quote unquote healthy bucks. They're big strong ones, and they will box to death.
Yep. But here's the thing.
Death.
So look, Massaja. How many professional athletes, and we're gonna stay with the black folk, because here's the thing, right? The white folk did it smart, right? But I'm gonna get to that in a minute. The black folk, how many of them are actually broke? They come out of high school, right? Go to college, which is, right? You go to college on a scholarship and you declare you are a professional to be drafted after your freshman year. What the fuck are you doing? You got a free ride of a goddamn scholarship to go 4 to 5 years to college. Why are you not utilizing that? Right? You got the talent to get there.
And I blame it's a generational issue. I told somebody, if I had a son, they ain't playing no fucking sport.
But
they not going to college and playing no fucking sport. They ain't playing no fucking football or basketball.
And look,
I blame a lot of the mothers. Oh, my baby, he gonna go and play basketball at Georgetown or some other bullshit. How about your baby go learn a fucking trade and go learn how to invest money and go get their like real estate license or carpentry or learn a skill, and he can open up and become a multimillionaire by the age of 25.
Hello, because look, people like Booker
but you
T,
like clout chasers so fucking much.
Hello. See, people like Booker T, Frederick Douglass, right? What's his name? Charles Manning
Institute.
Right? These guys was entrepreneurs. They weren't running around here doing all this, that, and the third. They were building businesses or colleges because they knew people needed to be educated.
But like Booker T, Tuskegee Institute, aviation, and all these great things.
Yes.
And somebody had the audacity to get mad at me with that shit. And I said, well, I'm proud of your son, but if he don't make the NFL, what the fuck is he going to do?
Right. That's exactly correct.
He going to go back home and do what? Work at McDonald's?
No, look. See, because here's the thing, right? If we look at professional sports, except for the NHL, right? NHL's not even in the equation, right? We're talking about NBA and the Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Well, Major League Baseball, yeah, we can add that, but only in certain issues. But we look at the NFL and the NBA, right?
Yep.
Look at all the bullshit to cater to black people, right? In those leagues. Like, they have literally, like, straight up, I ain't even going to pull a punch with you, right? It's almost like white people are the tokens in the NBA now. They're tokens in the WNBA now. They gotta, we gotta get you a good deal to get into these teams because we gotta keep all the black people on the court.
But here's the thing, like Dr. Uber talked about that on the Breakfast Club. He said, when's the last time you seen these colleges recruit black kids, especially inner city, based on, oh, you're good at math, you're good at science.
Right.
Let's bring you into the aeronautical engineering program at this school, or come to this program and let's invent some new sciences. No, they recruit and then they keep that cycle going, just like going to the fucking slave block. After we got these ones through, some died, some went through or sold off. Let's go back to the slave block and go get some other Negroes, especially young black men. And so then you turn around, but when you see your sisters starting to say, oh, we're entrepreneurs, then you want to say we fucking difficult.
Look, and that's the whole thing, right?
Who's the difficult one?
But then that's the whole thing, right? Because of the programming.
It's like going to the fucking slave auction. Let's go to these high schools. Let's go to Crenshaw High. Let's go to Fairfax High. Let's go to Compton High and all these other high schools, in different inner cities, and pick the best slaves so they can run our ball and win us championships and shit. But they have a low fucking ass GPA. Can't even do math. They can't read. They don't even know shit about basic economics or science.
Look.
But as long as you win us a fucking championship at Ole Miss, you good to go.
Yeah.
When was the last time, like Dr. Umar said on the Breakfast Club, when was the last time you seen these colleges recruiting our kids to be in these engineering programs? But no, they import them from India. They import them from China.
Yeah. Look. Here's a question. How many people know who Madam C.J. Walker is?
Me.
I know we do, but I can guarantee you, unless you've seen the movie The Help, no one knows who Madam C.J. Walker is.
I put one up on my Twitter.
Look,
Mary Pleasant was. She was actually the first, before Madam C.J. Walker, the first self-made millionaire here in California. Correct. She was black.
That's correct.
She was an entrepreneur.
Correct. That is exactly correct.
I put her up on my Twitter. I said, because somebody tweeted, "Oh, Madam C.J. Walker." I said, no, Mary Pleasant.
Yep, Mary Pleasant. That is correct.
So she made all her money through the gold rush.
Yep, she sure did. Because
all she did, she said, I pretended to be a maid to help and everything else to hear what the white man was talking about, how to invest money. And she took that knowledge back and started investing all through San Francisco.
Yeah. Yep.
Open up hotels, brothels, anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, we don't talk about her though, right?
We don't talk about her.
We don't talk about her at all. You know what I'm saying? How she left Georgia. Right. She was born in Georgia, and I think it's Forsyth County, Georgia, where Oscarville actually is. Right. Her family left. They ran. They escaped and literally ran across the country, caught up with Quakers, and they carried them from Missouri all the way to California.
Yep.
Where by that time she was probably mid-20s, close to mid-20s.
Yeah, about mid-20s, and she saw opportunity.
Yep, and she got into prospecting and made her millions by you know what's funny? By the time the Civil War was over, she had already made her first million.
Yeah.
By the time the Civil War was over.
During the Civil War.
Yeah. Yep. She was out west prospecting. Yeah.
But but when we talk about that, Rod, that's called CRT.
Right. No. That's not called CRT.
That's called woke.
No, that's not even called woke. I can't even put it in that category, right? But the thing is kind of going back to the top level part of this conversation. I know we got into the weeds a little bit, right? These things have been co-opted. Right. And we talked about professional sports and how they, how they're, akin to a little bit of the slavery. Yes, they make millions. Yes. But here's the thing, right? Here's where the disconnect is, right? Because what you've done, right? You've created a system where you give incentive to forego college to become a professional athlete instead of staying to get your studies.
Correct.
You've been offered as such.
Correct.
Right. That's the disconnect. And then when these people
because I always question, what are you studying when you get these scholarships? Oh, I'm studying basket weaving. That ain't gonna get you no fucking job, sweetheart.
Hello. And a lot of these athletes have to go back to college after they leave professional sports because they have no skills and they never became an entrepreneur while they were a professional athlete.
Yep.
And mind you, right?
And that's why they're fucking broke. And they get on drugs and they get back into the same bullshit that they were supposedly left.
Now here's where I weave both quote unquote ethnic classes in, right? The white professional athletes By the time they get their first check, they're investing. They're buying venture capital. They're buying businesses. They're creating businesses by their first paycheck. Right? Mm-hmm. So when they leave, when's the last quote unquote white professional athlete you heard broke? Let's keep that all the way real. You don't hear about them broke.
Let's keep it Gucci here. No, you don't. What they do, and I knew some. I went to high school with some, and what they did, mm-hmm. they went to go play baseball, and so if they got like injured with their shoulder or didn't really make it, they took the money that they had and they started a business into the community. It's like I'm going back to Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, right. He was a rapper. He made his money, but he went back into the community and said, okay, we about to build.
Yep.
Not only build, but I'm about to start a STEM program. But guess what? The powers to be in LA got him shot and killed.
Yep. And that's a problem we really have to really look at and address.
He said, we about to learn STEM, not only owning the building, but I'm going to teach you how to own it, how to invest, to be an investment class. People can say Magic Johnson, but seriously, Magic just bought shit. Yeah, he created jobs, but did you really teach those young people and how to be entrepreneurs?
Right. That's exactly correct.
But Nipsey had that vision in his dream, and they killed him.
Yeah, I mean, and really, that's a problem, right? And let's keep that real too. Let's keep it all the way Gucci, or like I say, keep it Woodrow, right?
Oh, okay.
That is a problem with skin folk, because people come up, they try to go back and do good, say, hey, I can show you how to get out of this perpetual system that you're stuck in. I can show you. I made it.
Show you. Yeah, I can show you. Just like me, I'm a business owner now. I sell life insurance. I'm over here tapping to my friend and say, hey, why don't you get a policy and let me teach you how to become a life insurance agent? Oh, no.
Right. But even with, right. And here's the thing, right?
Oh, no.
But we have, right? We have when they come back, right? When they come back, it's always something, right? I mean, look at Steve McNair.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Steve McNair. Right. Let's look at Sean Taylor from the Washington Redskins back in 2007. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, there's many stories like this where these men come back to give back, and somehow in the psyche of skin folk, they think, I would rather raise a gun to your head instead of learn from you how you got your way out of the system so I can get out of the same system I don't know how to get out of.
But that's a psychological thing we got to break, starting with the Willie Lynch.
That's what I'm talking about.
We got to go back. When people say break the generational curse, we got to start breaking the generational curse of Willie Lynch in our own community, in our own minds. And stop with this, oh, well, you're light skinned, you had it better than me. No, motherfucker, I had I won't say I had a worse, but I get my share of the taste too a lot of times.
Right.
Stop looking at because the paper brown bag test and start looking at it like, wow, she got a good thing. I'm going to support my sister and we're going to come together and do it all together. Same thing what I told with when Felicia had her course. I have a friend, Dr. Malcolm Adams, who out there in Georgia, and I said, hey, I have a friend who's a Democrat. He ran for office, but he reached out to me, said, I want to collab with you. Didn't matter if I was a Republican or he's a Democrat. He's a smart man. He's an intelligent man. He goes to the White House all the fucking time to get government contracts and build his tech and economic businesses to get people into trade.
Yeah.
We didn't see DNR.
Right.
There are some out there, but when you try to show them, they want to call you sellout, you bougie, you this, oh, you not a freedman or this and that. We're trying to show you how to fucking grab the bag to make the shit fucking work.
Yeah. That's
But you
exactly
want to
right.
but you want to keep arguing over and over. Well, we're going to get reparations, okay? But in the meantime, let me show you how to work from home and start you out, give you some pocket money, and then if you're good at it, you can go from part time to full time. You can make six figures, and within the next 2 years, you can become a fucking multimillionaire being a life insurance agent.
Well,
it is the number one industry where you can be a fucking millionaire.
But that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Going back to the top end of this, we got about 12 minutes left, right?
Oh, man.
Going back to the top end of this, right? This is where quote unquote skin folk need to understand the whole thing, right? They need to understand the whole thing, right? Because what they have allowed, right? And again, what they've allowed is these dumb ass white liberals and progressives to commandeer something that all of us as a whole, black, white, Puerto Rican, all of us, has dubbed as going against the man, right? Woke, right? And have allowed them to pervert it and include things like transgenderism, LGBT stuff, and all this nonsense, right? And these skin folk of ours are allowing it to happen, right? And our white skin folk friends, right? They're shut down every time they mention it, and that's wrong on itself.
I agree with
because
that.
That is our word. It's not theirs. That's our word.
That is our word. But I also put blame on the skin folk on the right, which I said too before many, many times. I go harder with that. They play into that want to be the only Negro in the room. So I'm going to say whatever the fuck I wanted to say and throw my own people underneath the bus so I can get a bigger piece of cornbread as well. And they allow it too. So it is both sides. You got Step Infections and Clayton Bigsby's on the fucking both sides.
She said, you're right.
I'm an equal opportunist now. I told you, this is a new year, new me. I don't give a fuck no more because I've seen it. I've seen it on both sides.
And here's the thing. And this is
the house Negro is no longer about pigmentation. It's a mentality.
Yes. And here's the thing. This is why I love my Southern Liberty family, because over the years,
I know they probably like this girl and him are a mess.
No. Here's the thing. Here's why I love my Southern Liberty family, right? Is because over the years, right, and with the help of Miss Val and Miss Kell,
yes,
we've desensitized race to a point where it's not even a factor. Like most of the people that follow us don't even refer to themselves as white. They either refer to themselves as an American, or they refer to themselves from the nationality the ethnic group they grew up in, right? If they're Italian or whatever, they don't identify with all the government's construct, right? And I think the three of us, right, and guests like you that come on, right, we have made sure that message is clear when it comes to that, right? So a lot of the people that listen to us, they don't go by that bullshit. We use the crayon box to make a point, right, about certain things and how things are operating, because we're looking above the crayon box. We're like, y'all a bunch of dumbasses. Y'all sitting here talking about you're fighting for white supremacy, fighting against white supremacy, and you're both doing the same exact damn shit in the name of white supremacy. And it's like, y'all keep fighting over the white crayon. We're going to sit here and just watch you in the circus, in the tent with the lasso, and let y'all watch y'all hang yourselves, hang each other, push, pull, tug of war over the whole damn thing. Because we all understand on Southern Liberty that is nothing but a leash to drag you into a corner when they want you. And that's what we need our skin folk, Miss Aja, to understand, is that when they participate in this wokeness that the white liberals and progressives basically commandeered and created, co-opted, and they're complying with it, is exactly what they're doing. They're allowing these people's racism to show and give them a pass on the racism they exude, but yet turn around and point at the other side like, look at all that racism. I said, this fool behind you just called Clarence Thomas a nigger openly on social media, but you ain't checking that fool, but you want to check some fucking neo-Nazis. We'll do it to neo-Nazis. Check your motherfucking team.
Then they won't do it. They won't do it. That's why I said, you're playing into the psychological warfare where pretty soon nobody will, everybody's going to just walk outside like, what the fuck do I say, do, or what? Because no matter what you do or how you perceive it, is always going to be some fucking psyop coming down and saying, well, you're a fucking racist, or you're this and you're that. It's like, right. What the hell?
Yeah. That's exactly
what the hell. You can't even interact anymore as a human being or have fun or go out without something to be said. Oh, well, that's indoctrination. Oh, well, no, that's indoctrination. No, your fucking status.
That part.
You're not a Democrat or a Republican. It's statism versus statism. I said this on your show before. Yep. It's Eastern Europe versus Western Europe. Learn your fucking history.
Yep. And that goes back, right? That goes back into when we're talking about, right, fascism, and also talking about anti-Atlanticism in the same sentence. Right.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
But we're not going down that road because these Americans, for the most that are outside of Southern Liberty, are not ready for that conversation, because when they realize they have been lied to, they have been bamboozled, they have been,
like my friend Daryl always says, y'all being hoodwinked and bamboozled. My friend Daryl says that all the time.
Yeah, you've been bamboozled by the Playboy in the Ukraine big house. Oh no, Slava Ukraine, because we're woke. But
then all your reps up there keep sending all that money, giving them people fucking Social Security money, bringing their troops over here to fucking training.
Aja, I got a theory. I got a fucking theory that's out of this damn world. You know how all these banks have been crashing lately?
Man, I was like...
I'm talking, these banks, they're not crashing. These cats are imploding on themselves.
Guess what I told my mom the other day? I said, thank God I only got $5 in the bank.
Look.
I didn't lose no fucking money. I got $5.
Look, I think this was a true systematic setup by the Fed. This administration, right? Because you can look, if people had any sense, right? And I'm not a financial guy, but I know damn well I'm not going to go get a loan when the Fed has a 0 interest rate or a negative interest rate. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
Waiting for them to raise the interest rate and I'm out of fucking money. Like, are you kidding me right now? No. But do you know where the first one happened was really interesting was Silicon Valley. Yeah. So actually before that, Silverbank started back in New York, started that downward spiral, and then it just filtered down. Silicon Valley Bank is is prominent because it is one of the third largest commercial bank in the country. Okay. Right? But all these banks are imploding. Now, isn't it ironic how we pledged so much money to Ukraine that we don't have, and these banks are having ties to ESG, which is tied to quote unquote this new wokeness, right?
I'm telling you, it's all a cycle. We're going back. Telling you. We're going back. We're repeating history. Just like I told a couple of people, go read about Jekyll Island. Go restudy about how the Federal Reserve was founded. Just print money, and the Rothschilds and all of those people. We're going back. We're going more backwards than forward, if people believe it or not. Instead of worrying about if black people are building homes in their own damn community, which the community where they built the houses is 81% black, then you got a fucking problem if you're concerned about black people owning their own fucking land and their own houses and their own grocery store. But then you got the banks collapsing. You got the Ukrainians getting all the fucking money and shit. Hold
that a second, right? Now, hold that a second, right? Hold that just a minute, right? Now, we know about the meeting on Jekyll Island, right?
Yeah.
But what happened, right? What happened when they left Jekyll Island? What happened? Banks started crashing, didn't it?
Things started crashing.
Banks started going sloop. I'm just saying. I'm not being a conspiracy theorist because there's no such thing as a conspiracy theorist. It's just spitballing the thought. But you would think.
No, we're the original fact checkers.
Yes. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. It's kind of ironic how we don't have money to print to send to Ukraine, but banks are folding. Banks are folding faster than a man can fold his wallet. And mind you, it's all regulation. And here's what's funny when we talk about regulation piece, right? And this is where I jump on conservatives too about this, about being awake to the man, right? You're okay with regulation. Mm-hmm. You're okay with regulation as long as it does not affect you. Right? I mean, come on. Let's look at FDIC. Let's look at this bank thing.
Applied.
Right? Let's look at this FDIC thing. Right? Regulation. Right? What is fascism? How did Ronald Reagan describe fascism? Privately owned, government regulated. Wait, what happened? Wait, I thought we were trying to get rid of the regulatory state. Oh, no, we need some sort of safeguards. It's either we have a free market or we have capitalism. You can't have both because they're both oxymorons.
Those people are not, they claim that I'm a patriot. I'm a liberty person. I'm for the Constitution. No, you're supporting statism.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Because it didn't hit you, but you fell with your cognitive mind. Okay, I know it didn't hit me, but what about the other person? Yeah. I'll even put it down in layman terms, okay? In California, somebody's been playing Jumanji, and we've been having snow and rain, okay? Okay, I'm like, somebody was playing a Ouija board in Jumanji in California the last 3 months. So what happened in California? The crisis of the snow in the San Bernardino Mountains. Now, granted, I live in California. We got a little snow, but I didn't get snowed in. But so should I say, well, I didn't get snowed in. I'm fine, but I'm a human and have compassion for those people that did. And they even found dead people in their homes. And I'm like, holy shit. But because it didn't happen to me, should I not, or should I not care? Mm-hmm. That's the same. It's a moral issue. It's a simple fact. You say you want people to have freedom of speech and a right to bear arms until one demographic does it. Oh no, now we got a problem. Right. Then when I see your dumbass tweets and see, oh, I'm a patriot. Nigga, you ain't no fucking. Ooh, I didn't want to say that word. You ain't no fucking patriot. You're not no fucking patriot. I'm a damn patriot. I served in the military. I served for the United States of America to protect and defend the Constitution from foreign and domestic. Mm-hmm. I didn't serve for one demographic, one group of people, one gender group of people, or two gender group of people, or whatever fries your chicken in the bed. I didn't serve for just one segment of. I didn't serve for the right only or the left only. I served for everybody. For everybody. The United States of America, not this national divorce bullshit like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So you have to equally apply all of those principles, even to people who you disagree with.
Right. That's exactly correct.
There's some shit that I don't agree with, but I'm like, hey, I got to defend you. Right.
That's exactly right. Because see, here's the thing. Patriotism should always supersede wokeness. Always. Because if you don't, and here's the thing, right? If you don't support patriotism, right, then you are not supporting the liberties and the freedoms that men and women, and we can even go back to slavery, died over.
Correct.
You had people that were property that died trying to get the freedom. And you're
Trying
going
to
to
get freedom.
spit on these people. Even, I mean, we even can talk about the Union soldiers that died in the name of freedom to free slaves, right? I mean, we're going to sit here and talk about the black men that were lynched, right? And then because they went against the racist agenda, right, of the Democrat Party in that day, all the way up into through Jim Crow, and you want to spit on those people, right? These people want to spit on these people, right, and call out quote unquote white people for being racist, and you're spitting on patriots. Right, you're spitting on patriots to this country. I don't care which way you look at it. You can call it from an oppression standpoint, whatever you want to. I'm talking about the people that wanted this country to live up to the Constitution that was signed into play. Those are real fucking patriots.
But have you ever done like an analysis? Are these people who come up with this, both the right and the left, with their cognitive dissonance? Have you ever noticed or wanted to ask, are you first generation or second generation in this country?
That's a good one.
Because I noticed, and not to knock anybody who came over, during the immigrant, the Ellis Island and things like that. I get it. But it seems like you want to ask, how long has your family been here?
Right.
Well, I'm third generation. Okay, so what's that? My grandparents' generation, so the 30s or the 60s or something like that. I mean, I can date my family back in America because I have Native in me before it was America.
Right.
If anything, I am a freedman.
Right. But
I mean, but when I see this nonsense going back and forth, you never studied the true foundation of this country and how it was supposed to have been set up with equally applying life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Correct.
Yes, you have your life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, but if Joe Blow down the street said, I view my life and liberty and pursuit of happiness is this, you got to still equally apply it whether you agree with it or not.
Right, and that's the thing, right? And you brought up a good point with these people coming over. They're only 2 generations, 3 generations into this country. Most of us, like me and you,
and I'm not xenophobic, but I just notice a pattern. I'm very
right. I know, I understand 100%, right? But let's just keep it real for the people, and those of you that are second generation, second generation here, there's no knock to you, but you have to understand one thing, right? There is people in this country that their bloodlines go back to the Civil War. Their kinfolks died in the Civil War to make sure this country owned up to that document they signed.
I got blood. I can tell you, like I said, my bloodline goes back before it was called America.
Right.
They were indigenous.
But here's the point I'm trying to drive at, though, for people, right? There's a lot of people that are really, that their family, their family bloodline are patriots to this land, to this country, right? And again, for these people to want to spit on it, to fundamentally change it after people have fought, blood, sweat, tears, assassination after assassination to make this country live up to its ideals, and for these dumb as stupid as wannabe woke people to unravel that is disingenuous, is disheartening, and I can say a whole lot of other things, but you get the point. Y'all, those folks that act like that need to take a whole stadium full of seats in a town outside of the United States and learn something first. Because the rest of us, regardless of again, right, this is why they don't want the true woke Gen X to wake up on their ass, because we will slice that whole agenda in half. We will completely slice it.
We were doing the Occupy on Wall Street. That was our generation.
Yeah. We
started a lot of this, but there, and I I'm a Gen Xer, you're a Gen Xer. The real Gen Xers, we just sit back and really watch, like, y'all really are screwing up the whole entire society with your bullshit, the left and the right. Mm-hmm. It's becoming where a lot of us, not a lot, but I know some of us who say we're just done. We don't give a fuck if the country burns, if the country gets invaded. We're already preppers, and we're just going to be locked and loaded.
But you know what? No, but see, we have to talk about the solution before we close. We have to talk about the solution. The solution to all of this, right? And I'm just going to say this in a couple sentences, right? To my conservative friends that listen to this show, right? I think my man, Ethan Allen. Not Ethan Allen, but Thomas Paine, right? Live free or die.
Yep, live free or die.
Right? Live and let live, people. If people want to walk around in a dress and pretend they're a woman, let them walk around and dress and be a woman.
That's their damn business.
Be what they want to be. But
that's their damn business.
We should all be in agreement that we don't perpetuate this upon children.
Correct.
Right? And we do not perpetuate this on the mentally vulnerable. We do Correct. Not. That should be a hard stop. And that's where the stop should be. We shouldn't be having an issue talking about, what's a woman? I don't even want to have that conversation, right? Because the thing is, you can try to change the meaning of the word woman, right? But you can live in your world with your people, right? And take over your schools, right? And teach what you want to teach. The problem is that we have the government that's pandering to these postmodernist woke punks, right? And backing them up, right? And instilling their ideology in the school, right? And that's where the fight should be. You know what, conservatives? You wanted a national divorce. You don't need a blue state, red state. You need to get away from your parties, and you need to start your own communities like Freedom, Georgia, and do what you do and let them call you whatever they want to, because in the United States of America, you are guaranteed 3 things: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if anybody interferes with that, you have a Second Amendment right and to take care of the problem. But you better use the First Amendment first before you use the second. That's it.
But here's the thing, and I said this to you, I said this to Jeff, and I think even Adrian. I said, y'all talking about parents' rights and all that stuff, wait till the left takes you to the Supreme Court.
Yep.
So you got to be careful, too, on what you call as this is my movement or I'm a liberty person. They're going to take you to the Supreme Court, and they will rule in favor of those parents taking those children underage to these shows, because they're going to say, you say it's my right as a parent. You talk about your right as a parent, but this is my right as a parent.
But watch this, Miss Asha. Watch this, though, right? This is where
people be careful with that shit.
But here's the thing, right? Tennessee got it right. Right? HB 878. They got it right. They banned it from public settings. They banned it in public, right? Remember, people are private citizens of the state. They don't have an entitlement to public property, right? Because if they did, right, then they wouldn't have to pay a tax for roads, because isn't that a public easement?
Correct.
Right? Here's what I'm saying, right? So unless you are conducting an activity, a constitutional activity on public property, you're not entitled to have drag shows on private property. And that's where Tennessee got it right. So you can't do a drag show in a library. You can't do it in a school, because that is public property.
No, that is correct. No, that is correct. I remember drag shows for so long. It was pure entertainment. You had to be 18 or over to go. In the club. The clubs at night.
In the club. That's exactly correct. Private. These are private things. And if And here's the thing: if you want
And
to
they sold
take your
alcohol.
right, and that's the other part, right? If you want to take your child to a drag show, have it at your house, in your backyard, or in your house, or take your child right to the club that is private that doesn't have alcohol.
There's
There's your solution right there. Right now,
see,
I know people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. But again, right, if we're going to be defenders of liberty, and we got to separate public from private, this is what we have to do. It's not shunning people, but it's a fact of the matter. The taxpayer pays for public property, but you also pay the government to maintain that public property. So they have jurisdiction ultimately over that property. They can do whatever they want with it.
I remember the first man I saw dressed up as a woman was Tootsie. I said, what the hell?
Right.
It was a movie. You remember the movie Tootsie?
Yeah, I remember the movie Tootsie.
I said, what the hell?
Right.
I didn't watch it because I was like, what the hell am I watching?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly correct.
But you didn't have Mrs. Doubtfire. If y'all didn't see the pattern what Hollywood was doing, like what was it with Patrick Swayze and Tung Wong Fu and all that, and all the movies, y'all didn't see that coming.
Oh yeah,
everybody mad. Everybody mad. But y'all didn't see these movies.
You're right though. You
can't get mad.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, you take your kids to Disneyland. You got somebody dressed up as Tinkerbell. No, her ass don't look like that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember just the other day, right? There's this Twitter handle called Tennessee Splitter or Spotter or something like that. And and look, they tried to say that Governor Lee was dressing in drag because he had on a cheerleading outfit. Oh, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, y'all a bunch of dumbasses.
Well, they trying to tell, that guy that got elected to Congress, was it from New York? They found, I don't know if it was true or not, they found him a picture in drag. And I'm like, and that's that man's business.
Yep, that's exactly
Can he legislate?
Right, exactly. Can he legislate? Yep.
I don't know if it was true or not. I don't know if people did the stupid Photoshop shit. Look, he was dressed in drag. He never denied it. But I'm like, that's that man's business.
Yep, that sure is. You do what you do.
Go do you.
But just don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't
impose it on me
or children.
Me as a 44-year-old woman. If I decide, okay, I was going to see something funny, something entertaining, but it don't mean that I really condone it and I'm going to start dressing up as Eddie Murphy the next day. I don't know.
Right. That's right.
But I tell people all the time, does wokeness, stop saying, oh, well, that's woke. No, pick up Google search engine and look at the definition of woke. It is the open of consciousness of what is going on around you. Yep. It's like the fucking Matrix. The Matrix is woke.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you thought, oh, it was cool, yeah, the red pill and the blue pill, and we're in the Matrix. But that's woke.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, right? Here's what the Merriam-Webster dictionary changed it to, right?
Oh, Lord.
Woke, aware of and actively attentive to important societal facts and issues, especially issues of race and social justice. This is what they did. This is what they did.
I tell everybody, go get you a Black's Law dictionary in the 1980s.
And then here, watch this. Here's the other definition of woke. Often used in context that suggests someone's expressed beliefs about such matters are not backed with genuine concern or action.
Let me look up some stuff too.
Right? Now, I just wanted to say that for a reason, right? Because here's a sentence that describes it. There is never really a moment where a person of color, you already know this is already woke, right? They're woke, right? There is never really a moment where a person of color does not have to deal with discrimination, whether it's veiled and passive or blunt as possible. So woke white people, why can't you step in? See, that whole statement by Lauren Sanchez is problematic.
Mm-hmm.
That whole, because first of all, you are this is these you fake ass wokesters out here. What that type of statement, you're automatically implying that, quote unquote, using their language, a person of color is already destitute.
Correct.
What?
You're assuming.
If that is not racist to its core, I don't know what is anymore. That statement in itself is literally racist as fuck, according to their dictionary. It's actually, let's call it what it is. It's xenophobic.
Which dictionary was that?
Merriam-Webster.
Oh, wow.
This is actually xenophobic to its core. Oh, well, we gotta do this. No, stop treating melanated people like they're fucking pets. They're not your dog. They're not your horse. They're not any of that. Leave folk alone.
Anytime people, and I notice this on the left more, they want to start an agenda for something, they always drag, number one, black women into it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we gotta do this because it harms black women. No, it don't fucking harm us. No, just like y'all, leave us the fuck out of your own shit. They always use the black woman or the black community as a whole. They never use the black man. I don't know why, but they always want to push the black woman into their agenda first. But I'm like, well, I'm black and I'm a woman. That ain't affecting me. Just like California passed a damn bill. It was aimed for those liquid flavored vapes.
Yeah, the Juul, Juul, yeah.
To ban the flavors, but some crazy nut in Sacramento pushed in to ban menthol cigarettes and saying, well, it's harming the black community. But I'm like, I could have swore I saw a white dude smoking some menthol Newports.
Right. Right. You're like, what about the white dude that likes Potes? You know what I'm saying? Like the cool. You know what I'm saying? The biscuits and the hedges.
I'm like, wait, we the only ones that smoke menthols? But they slid that in the bill. So then they banned menthol cigarettes because it hurts the black community. Number one, it's only 6% of black people in California. But you're telling me the Hispanic community, the Asian community, the white community, and whatever other community we got going on, nobody smoked menthol. I could have swore I saw, and I said this to myself. I said, I could have swore I saw this white guy buying a pack of menthols. It don't affect his health, but only affect black people. Is he immune to menthol? Is he super? Make it make sense.
I'm just.
They used the study of black people in California, and I'm like, it's only 6% of us. There's only like 5 black people left in California. What the fuck?
But we want to be extra woke, right? Like,
but you used again the black community to push your agenda and say, well, it affects black. I'm not saying that we have we do have medical issues and stuff, but I'm like, to say, well, it affects the black community more. There's hardly any of us left in California. What the fuck is you talking about?
Right? Yeah, it is. It's always. I mean,
I could have swore I saw the Hispanic dude smoking some menthols too. What about his health?
Right. He was smoking those Nicaragua cigarettes. He was smoking the Nicaragua cigarettes. They're Nicaragua. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter about those brown people. They always use they always use the African American Freedmen, ADOS, whatever you want to subscribe to this year, community to justify to ban shit. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is when you know woke is literally racist.
I'm like,
but it is. It's everything, right? And even if we as we go into this, and I got 8 minutes now for sure. I got a little extension, but it is right because look. One of the biggest issues.
But as a woke person that I am, as a real woke Gen Xer, no, you're the government telling me as a black person I can no longer smoke menthols. So then you're going to have another Eric Gardner cases pretty soon. You're going to have people selling this shit out the trunk of their car. And guess who comes in to arrest them?
ATF or whatever agency is equivalent to the ATF in California will be coming and kicking in your door selling Lucy's.
Yes.
Ready, guns blazing. Right? Because here's the thing, right? And again, I still...
So my philosophy is actually the real woke philosophy, because I'm like, wait a minute.
Right. I'm
the one. Yes, I am woke because I put the shit together.
Here's the thing, right? And this is for all of our skin folk that are subscribing to this white version of wokeness, right? The white liberal version, progressive version of wokeness, right? One, we know these people don't mean you any good because they want to restrict every movement. They don't want to even really see you. They just want to use you for an agenda. I mean, let's keep it real. The taking off of the girl off of Land O'Lakes wasn't done by Native Americans. It was done by those white wokesters. Aunt Jemima coming off of the bottle got our fellow skin folk. They got emotionally charged by these white progressives and liberals because that's a slavery thing. Oh my God, we can't have that. No, they're trying to erase every single thing.
But black. Quaker Oats is still on there.
Right. Well, forget Quaker Oats a second. I don't care about that part. I care about the part.
Quaker Oats.
Right. I care about the part about these white liberals and progressives calling themselves woke, emotionally gaslighting, quote unquote, our skin folk to have them erase themselves, right? Self-erasure from the United States, right? I mean, even to the point, right? Even to the point, right? When we're talking about CRT, that is an erasure, right? Of what is quote unquote black in this country. Because none of CRT has nothing to do with any type of history, right? They're saying, oh, it's how the laws are done. But you can't talk about the laws unless you know the real history behind it. And they're not talking about that part, right? So for all my skin folk that might listen to this tonight, tomorrow, or maybe next year, here's something you got to understand. These folks will use you and abuse you, right? I mean, look, one of the biggest issues of our time in society right now is abortion. Why? Yeah. Because a white woman lied and said 4 black men gang raped her. Yeah. And then they use black women to say, you're going to lose your rights. No, bullshit. When you know that and that's how it got to the Supreme Court so fucking fast. Yep. Let's keep that shit all the way real. They used black, because they knew during that time, black men, I mean, do we talk about the Scottsboro Boys? Do we talk about the Jena 6? Do we talk about, you know what I'm saying, the George Stennies, how they were lied upon to push an agenda, and these black folk out here still riding coattails with these white progressives and letting them use them for a pawn in their sinister game to eradicate you.
Correct. No, you're absolutely correct. And history keeps repeating. It's just repackaged differently. And you got to really start calling out your own camp. Like I call out my own camp. Sonny does it too, and a few others. But we get tired of it because we're fighting against you to make you stop.
Right.
And then we tell our Democrat cousins that are on the same page as us, it's like, you guys have to call out your shit too.
Yeah, so you know, and that's the whole thing, right?
You got to call out your shit too. Just like I said the other day, I said if we band together and say, you know what, everybody shut the fuck up.
You know what the crazy thing is, Miss Aja?
Just stop.
You know what the real crazy thing about this whole thing is? Because these wokesters, these progressives and liberals have blinded skin folk by having them take virtue in their skin that they cannot see. They have more allies outside of that group that is perpetuating the lies to them. Like if they would just wake up for a moment, right? Mm-hmm. And like, for example, come on this show. Right? Mm-hmm. Or come into the comment section of this show and see the love they will get from Southern Liberty, and et cetera, et cetera. They will understand they have more allies, real allies, people that everybody wants to prosper together, not because you're white, brown, purple, pink, or whatever, but because you are an American outside of your, because we know for sure if you're a liberty defender, we know three things for sure that will alleviate your struggle: life, liberty, and your pursuit of happiness. And if we have to fight to keep that going, so to make sure your L's, you're able to at least get a chance to work through your L's. You're not going to get the equity just because you do it, you get the reward. You need the opportunity to do so. And these wokesters are stopping you and passing legislation and moving policy to restrict, right, your pursuit of happiness. And once they start realizing that and start realizing they have other allies that are in the same struggle, they are fundamentally, they will drop the virtue of the skin color and understand what the real struggle is and really become what is woke. Miss Aja, thank you for coming through as always. And everybody in the Southern Liberty audience, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all too. Make sure y'all come back through for Monday.
Oh, Monday.
For what the hell? I don't know what the hell is going on, but I know there's some stuff going on up there. So make sure y'all stop by 9:30 Eastern. Don't forget your clocks went forward. Don't be confused. And that'll be the last time they go forward. There'll be the last time these clocks even move again, unless they pass legislation to go back. But I know they won't. But anyway, until next time, y'all. Life, love, liberty, and happiness. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Southern Liberty Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.bpmg.us or leave a rating and review on iTunes. To catch all the latest from Roderick, you can follow him on social media at manofjustice007. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.